A surprising number of people in our area home educate their children, and specialist English teacher Jacq MacDonald-Fawcett is one of them. Together with a maths colleague, she's set up a small business called Step Forward Education to help home educators get the best for their children in these two specialist subjects. Jacq, now you are a teacher.
I am.
And you home educate one of your children?
I do, yeah. Two are still in mainstream primary education, but with James, who's now 12 and a half, we tried very hard to help support him through mainstream school, but he just couldn't really cope with the environment. Right. And I think that is the problem that quite a few children have at the moment. You know, schools are under a lot of pressure to support varying different needs with no budget whatsoever. So, you know, class sizes are bigger, schools in general are noisier and busier, and that was just something that my son really struggled to cope with.
So when you came to the conclusion, you decided to do it yourself.
Yeah.
And so how has it gone from there?
Really, really well, actually. And we actually started home educating in January, so before the COVID madness, and before the whole world ended up teaching from home. But I have to say that he has thrived even beyond what we could have imagined. He used to be very anxious, not wanting to go out much, quite socially awkward, and now that he's had this opportunity to just take some time away from all the hustle and bustle of school and those kinds of pressures, he's really come into his own. He's grown in confidence, and he's actually wanting to go out and meet new people and try new things. So I can definitely say that it was the right decision for him.
Now, looking down the line, what we're talking about, 9 months after you started home educating, you've now started a business helping essentially other home educators?
Yeah, so basically one of the issues that I knew that I was going to have with my son is that I'm an English teacher and specialist, quite happy to teach that and can delve into most other humanity-based subjects. But James, unlike me, is a really keen mathematician and scientist, and that is an area that is not my forte whatsoever. So I knew we were going to reach a point where I wasn't going to be able to support him with his learning as much as I wanted and needed to. So I set about just looking for some small group classes that he could join with home educated children. We'd done the one-to-one tuition, and that was fine, and we managed to do that through lockdown. But he said to me one day, "Mum, I just wish I could just do a few lessons with some other kids my age, just to kind of," he wanted to bounce his ideas off them and you know, have that kind of experience without having to have all the other trouble you get with mainstream school sometimes, or rather he got. So I thought, when I started searching through Facebook groups and all that kind of thing, that I would find such a thing, but lo and behold, there were none. So I just thought, well, I'll do this myself then, I'll set one up. And in talking to other home educated parents and being involved in the community, I realised that as much as I was looking for a maths small group session, other people were also looking for English, because obviously, arguably, they are the two subjects that parents and children really know that they need to do well at, and they need to get that right. You know, the rest, you know, the beauty of home education is that you can really be quite fluid and organic with it, and you can choose what you want to learn when you want to learn it. And there are some people who home educate who even don't think you need to do anything formally with English and maths, and that's absolutely fine. But that's not us. You know, we know that James has got plans to do A-levels and go to university, and there's no way he's going to be able to do that without his English and maths and other subjects. So that's where it came from, really.
And now you're actually running. You've got one session going in Ipswich?
Yep, so at the meeting place in Ipswich, Limerick Close, fantastic community centre there where we have 2 rooms. So the groups will never exceed 10 students. I've always thought that was the kind of perfect number, if you like, to be able to engage with the students, but also have the time and the space and the freedom to really get to know those students. So yeah, we have 10 in one group and 10 in the other is the maximum. We're getting towards being at full capacity with that group, which is brilliant. And then now we want to set up the Felixstowe group, because sort of in my dream of this, I always wanted something close to us here at home.
So you're starting afresh, as it were, in Felixstowe?
Yes, we've actually got a few parents and children who already live in Felixstowe but are coming to the Ipswich group, because it's really important for me to have a minimum number before we start. Largely just because, two children sitting there together is not much interaction, so we really need sort of 4 or 5 to be able to run with it. So I'm hoping that over the next few weeks, when word gets out, we'll have those people coming in.
The core subjects that you'll be teaching, or you and a colleague, I think?
Yes, Sally is my maths colleague. So how it works is that we, again, just thinking about what I wanted as a home educating parent, with maths particularly, I wanted somebody to teach the core concept or the core skill to James, and give him that confidence, give him opportunities to try it, test it, have some feedback, and then give him something to be carrying on with at home. So these sessions are not by any means all of the English and maths that a child would need to do throughout the week. They are just a way of teaching those core skills and those core concepts, so that they can have the confidence to go away and work with their parents on it, or on their own at home. And what the lovely thing is that lots of the parents stay for the sessions and work with their child with us. The schemes of work that we've written basically allow us to be able to teach both practical English and math skills for the children who just want to come out with a solid understanding of the subjects, but we also link it to the national curriculum for those children who do want to follow the qualification route and head towards GCSE. Okay. So it works for both types of children being home educated. When
you're looking kind of ahead with the kids that you teach, the age group that you're teaching is currently?
Well, it was quite difficult to put an age limit on it, because we didn't want to, we're conscious that it's not like school, this is again why the venues, there's not tables and chairs everywhere, there's sofas, it's comfortable and it's relaxing. And we didn't want to say things like Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 4, but ultimately we do need to be able to differentiate the work accordingly. So what we've kind of said is, as a rough guide, is around age 10 up to 16, but we do have a couple of students who are a bit younger, but because the groups are so small, it means we can still learn about that child, get to know their needs and their abilities, and differentiate the work to fit their needs. Ideally, for my own son, and I want this to be available for all children, I think you should be able to choose to electively home educate your child, but you should still have the option for them to sit their GCSE exams as a private candidate. Unfortunately, there aren't many local centres that will allow external candidates, and that is something that I've been talking to the local authority about, and I know that they are working quite hard with the local schools so that external candidates, children who are being home educated, can actually come in and sit their GCSEs. But one of the other reasons that I've done this is so that I think part of the problem with schools taking external candidates is that they have no history or relationship with that child. So they're probably slightly concerned that perhaps they're not at the level where they could achieve a good grade in that GCSE. But with Step Forward, if I've been working with those children for however long, and I know that they're working towards GCSE, I can help them and their parents put together a portfolio of evidence to submit to the school, the external exam centre, and say, this is where this child is. They've been taught, they've been assessed, and we know that they're in a position where they can achieve a grade in their GCSE. So hopefully, again, it's a kind of bridging between the mainstream world of education and the home education world.
Because once they've done GCSE or A-level or whatever, that then opens the door to university for them.
Absolutely, yeah. And you can still home educate your child through A-levels. There are so many online programs that you can buy into, and that's great. And especially because of COVID, lots of companies have sort of jumped on that bandwagon. And people have asked me, are you going to put anything online? And it is something I considered, but the vision that I have was for this small group scenario in an environment that is comfortable and safe and relaxed, where children can have some time to socialise with other children who are perhaps of the same mindset, who have been through the same experiences at school, So it's not just about the online learning. That sort of doesn't give you the same. That'll give you the education, but it won't give you the experience, and it's the experience that I'm trying to create. If you're currently home educating your child and you think that they would benefit from joining one of our sessions, then please just visit our website, which is www.stepforwardeducation.co.uk, or give me a call on 077 347 01957.